Τα φύλλα του καπνού Y1 κυκλοφορούσαν ήδη στην αμερικανική αγορά. Η British American Tobacco ισχυρίζεται ότι πρόκειται για μια αποτυχημένη απόπειρα δημιουργίας ενός ασφαλέστερου τσιγάρου.
The companies knew that nicotine was addictive and that the product that they were delivering to the consumer was really a nicotine delivery device or a nicotine system.
Η ιδέα ήταν απλή. Όσο περισσότερη νοικοτήνη δίνεις στους πελάτες σου, τόσο δυσκολότερο είναι να αποεξαρτηθούν.
It's one of the most addictive substances on earth, and it's hooked millions. It's called nicotine, and the tobacco industry knows that the more nicotine their cigarettes have, the more hooked you'll be. Of course, every year thousands of people die from their addiction, but you know what they say. There's plenty of fish in the sea. The tobacco industry, they profit, you lose.
Τον ίδιο καιρό στο Μανχάταν σημειώθηκε το πρώτο ρήγμα στο αραγές μέχρι τότε μέτωπο των εταιριών εναντίον των αντιπάλων τους. Εκπρόσωποι της εταιρείας Liggett & Myers που βγάζει τα τσιγάρα Chesterfield συναντήθηκαν με έναν από τους φανατικούς πολέμιους της καπνοβιομηχανίας. Όλα έγιναν σε απόλυτη μυστικότητα.
We negotiated in New York, in different places, under assumed names. I had a secret file in my office that I called Project Phoenix. He knew that they would be squashed like a bug by Philip Morris and the other BAT and the other big companies if in fact the negotiations leaked out.
Επικεφαλής της Liggett ήταν ο Bennett LeBoy, ενδιαφέροντα να σώσει την εταιρεία του.
I had some morals, but not a lot, so to speak. But initially, you know, Liggett could not afford to lose. If we lost one judgment, we'd be out of business.
Η εταιρεία Liggett είχε αποφασίσει να κλείσει συμβιβασμό με την αγωγή του Γενικού Εισαγγελέα του Mississippi.
I said to myself, what am I going to do if I go to court or go before Congress? Somebody asks me, is smoking addictive? Or you ask me, is smoking addictive? Or smoking cause all these problems? And personally, I believe they do. What am I going to do? Hem and haw and say, I don't know, which is what they're still doing. So it's a pleasure to come out and say, not a pleasure, but it's refreshing to come out and say, yes, it does cause all these problems. Yes, it is addictive, 100%.
This was the first time that the tobacco industry had ever admitted that cigarettes caused cancer, that nicotine was an addictive drug, and yes, they had intentionally marketed to children. It drove the tobacco industry, the other 98%, nuts.
Bennett LeBeau doesn't have a conscience. His sole purpose was to sell the business to somebody for a lot of money, and he's blackmailed or attempted to blackmail effectively all members of the business to say, buy me for a large amount of money and I won't cause you any trouble. You know, and that's Bennett LeBeau.
Well, I heard a couple statements that I'm a mafia turncoat. And my answer was, I didn't know there was a mafia out there I was part of.
Τους επόμενους μήνες και οι υπόλοιπες εταιρείες έκαναν προτάσεις συμβασμού. Τελικά στη Νέα Υόρκη συμφώνησαν να καταβάλουν ποσό άνω των $206 δισεκατομμυρίων στη Γενική Εισαγγελία.
The attorneys general have now before them a tobacco settlement proposal that would provide the states with $206 billion through the year 2025, the largest financial recovery in the history of the world. Our children under this settlement proposal will finally see the truth. The proposal provides a minimum of $2 billion for a foundation dedicated to telling the awful truth about the addictiveness and the health effects of tobacco.
Στο Λονδίνο, έδρα της εταιρείας British American Tobacco λογαριάζουν τι έχουν να πληρώνουν τα επόμενα 25 χρόνια.
To have an eventual arbitration award of $8.3 billion awarded to the lawyers for legal fees for 4 states alone, I mean, defies the word outrageous. It just is quite extraordinary.
Τους ερεθίζει ιδιαίτερα η αμοιβή που θα εισπράξουν οι δικηγόροι, γύρω στα $20 δισεκατομμύρια.
America, the United States, is hypochondriac and litigious. And the plaintiff lawyer industry in America is totally out of hand. Most of my American friends, including my non-smoking, anti-smoking American friends, would agree that the country is in the grip of manic lawyers, and it's a great way of making an enormous amount of money. These men are wealthy beyond the dreams of avarice as a result of being struck lucky.
Let me tell you, I'm going to take the money. I could make several $1 million from this for 14 years' work. Anything that they have to pay is something that is taken away from the tobacco industry. That's riches that comes away from them. I don't feel bad about that. I hope it's a lot.
Ο Τζο Κάμελ πήρε πρόωρη σύνταξη. Η απομάκρυνση διαφημιστικών πινακίδων και του λογότυπου του Μάλμπορο συμπεριλαμβάνονταν στους όρους του συμβασμού. Όμως τα νομικά προβλήματα των μεγάλων εταιριών δεν τελείωσαν. Είχαν να αντιμετωπίσουν την πιθανότητα άσκησης αγωγής από κυβερνήσεις και ιδιώτες.
I sued Philip Morris for smoking their brand of cigarettes for 35 years and getting lung cancer. And I sued them and I was awarded $51.5 million.
Η Πατρίσια Χάνλεϊ, πρώην τραγουδίστρια της country μουσικής, εισέπραξε τριπλάσια αποζημίωση από αυτήν που είχε ζητήσει από την εταιρεία Philip Morris.
I did call the Philip Morris company and I did ask them about these warnings and whether cigarettes were as bad as the Surgeon General was saying that they were. What I was told was that if I was concerned that I could switch to the lights and that way I would get less tar and nicotine. I did. I switched to the lights. And within about a period of maybe 3 to 4 months, I was smoking 3.5 packs of cigarettes a day instead of 2. They deserted me when I became a sick smoker, and yet I was a very good customer when I wasn't. I've taken responsibility for my smoking. Number one, I'm the one that's going to die. And number two, I'm not touching the money. But they also need to take responsibility and be held accountable for the amount of people that they're going to kill tomorrow and the next day and the day after that.
Στόχος δεν ήταν μόνο οι βιομηχανίες καπνού, αλλά και οι καπνιστές. Το πρώτο δικαστήριο για ανήλικους καπνιστές έγινε στη Φλόριντα.
For teenage tobacco court. The law says it's very clear. No one under the age of 18 may possess a tobacco product. That doesn't mean use it, smoke it, chew it. That means have it in your back pocket, hold in your hand for a friend. Can't do it. It is exactly similar to a marijuana law.
Οι νεαροί παραβάτες, ανέλικοι κάτω από τα 18, μπορούν να επιλέξουν την ποινή τους. Χρηματικό πρόστιμο και κοινωνική θητεία.
You have a problem standing up? I mean, you have a back disability? Oh, all right. I thought you were lying. Community service are fine. What are you doing?
Community service.
Okay. It's what a good life.
Η βαρύτερη ποινή για τους νεαρούς κατηγορούμενους θεωρείται η θανατική ποινή, αφαίρεση της άδειας οδήγησης.
16? Community service are fine. What are we doing there? Community service. I'd rather you do it too. That was a wonderful decision. I totally agree with that. Now make another decision. Good luck. Thank you. Hi, guys.
My license got suspended over a smoking ticket, so I can't drive. And I have my car sitting at home. I gotta get to work every day. I gotta depend on rides. So I'm not gonna drive with a suspended license, and it's hard. It's hard.
Seeing some of my friends in here too, I thought that was pretty humiliating. That because they're gonna go back and tell some people, oh, I saw him and then so in court and all this stuff. Because barely anybody knows that I'm here today.
Community service is fine. What are we doing now?
Community service.
That's a smart decision. 1/3 of the teenagers given the summons no longer smoke. Although I would not have originally considered the court system the place to stop teenage smoking, it seems to be more effective than any other program that's been going on.
Στη δυτική ακτή της Αμερικής, η επικράτηση των αντικαπνιστών είναι πλήρης. Η πόλη Ντέιβις στη Βόρεια Καλιφόρνια είναι η πόλη με την αυστηρότερη νομοθεσία σε ολόκληρη την Αμερική. Εδώ το κάπνισμα θεωρείται δημόσιος κίνδυνος. Ο συντάκτης των δημοτικών αντικαπνιστικών κανονισμών κάνει περιπολία.
You cannot smoke in restaurants. You cannot smoke in